You should play the way you feel it. Listen carefully to loneliness like a heartbeat drives you mad. And the stillness of remembering what you had. And what you lost.
Just a second.
What you had. What you lost.
And yours
Thunder only
worked out.
happens
Just
there's only that you in there. Say when they will come.
but I'm gonna go ahead. Give me just a second, everybody. I'm just a little fast. Trying to go as fast as I can. I was kind of.
Here I go again. See the crystal vision. I keep my vision to myself. It's only comes to wrap around your dreams. Have you any dreams you like yourself? Dreams are lonely, man, like a heartbeat.
Our computer's slow, so
In the stillness of remembering what you had. And what you lost.
only about 2 minutes in, so give me
What you had.
just another second.
What you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. There's only love you when they're playing. Day one, they would come and they would go.
But I'm just trying to get this.
When the rain washes you clean, oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Yeah, parents only love you when they're playing. Yeah, women, they would come and they would go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. You know. You
So let's see.
know.
Well, this thing has got to be the slowest thing tonight. Let me try to use this one real fast. Well, this thing has got to be the slowest thing tonight. Okay, it looks like I'm on 2 things at one time. Give me 1 more second. Okay, so that didn't work. That was going to Facebook and I was going to some links. So we didn't get that. So I'm going to go ahead. Hello, Katie. How are you doing? How are you doing, Katie? Um, Malcolm, maybe he'll be on tonight. Hopefully. But I want to do the updates real fast, the announcements. There are two group pages that we are associated with. That is the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch page, in parentheses, antlers and surrounding areas. Oh, that's great news, Katie. I'm glad you're okay. That's cool, and I hope that we all get together real soon. And that goes with the announcement in just a little bit also. The other group page on Facebook is Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Son Syndrome Database. That's also on Facebook, two group pages I do associate and post these links to. Uh, all right, Katie, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm so glad you're awake. um, the Chute Ranch Project, a Bigfoot experience, Bigfoot Museum in Tallahassee, Oklahoma, is still scheduled to open in 2 weeks. Um, they look like they're just about ready as far as what we understand. They're just working on a few last details, I guess you would say, organizing and rearranging. They had a dry run. Now this will be their grand opening. I'm hearing good things about it. There's a good big buzz about it, so everybody keep your eyes on it. Visit that museum if you get a chance. If you're ever in the Tallahassee area, and get the Bigfoot experience inside a museum. Uh, I have a podcast. Oh, okay, Katie. I just and, but Halloween night, October 31st, I was interviewed for a podcast for Native Chalk Talk on the subject of Bigfoot. That will be aired at 6 p.m. Halloween night on Native Chalk Talk. If you could find that link or the podcast, and hopefully I may be able to. Uh, hey, there's Faith Walker. Faith Walker is driving and listening. That's great. All right. Now we're just missing Malcolm and Damon. Where are y'all guys at? Oh, Josh's phone doesn't link up. So, um, those are the announcements for right now. SMA, if you ever, um, if we can ever contact with you again, and Cliff and everybody, we haven't forgotten about the things and things that we had to do. We just have been a little bit busy, but we're all trying to get back on schedule again. Uh, Faith Walker says hello to everybody, and Katie says hello to Faith Walker. If y'all can't read these comments, um, Katie and Faith Walker are saying hi. SMA, she is um, from British Columbia, I believe. Um, she is she's been listening for a while and keeping up, but I hope we didn't lose too many listeners. We will be getting back to a regular schedule, but even that is still iffy because we're thinking about going to 7 o'clock. Katie, if you can hear that, we're thinking about 7 o'clock for you. If that's okay with you, if that's a good time for you. Um, and we're going to start that tomorrow night because a lot of people are overseas, other countries, and some people do go to bed around that time too. So we're gonna, or around 9 o'clock. So we're gonna move it up to 7 o'clock. That way, we can get our full team together for meetings, conferences, and for talking together and have meetings here on the page. So that's Katie, Malcolm, Damon, Josh, Faith Walker, and hopefully we'll have some new trackers. I know a young man will be coming up pretty soon from boot camp to be in the tracker course camp. He's already scheduled for that. He'll be a great asset to the team and everyone who you know pays attention and learns a lot. That some are going to advance quicker than the others, only because of the attention and how you um, accept the information and listen to the information. And that's also what we all warriors are the same, as far as physically and everything like that. But it's the knowledge that separates the warrior from being more or less. And that was one of the test questions that we've had beforehand. But see, SMA is in British Columbia. We've just been trying to get a hold of her. Hadn't heard from her in a while. But again, like we were saying, that we've been in the field too. John Wolf is here. Hi, John. How you doing? Great, great to see you back. And it's also great for us to, be back too, because we've been in the field doing some things out there to help some people with their problems or their big or the Bigfoot in their area. Katie, no SMA. That's the code. I think it's short for uh, oh, John Wolf. This is Damon. Hey, John is Damon, or is Damon John? How are we doing that? So, do we call you Damon, John, Azora? But so that's so. Josh, his phone doesn't link up to this, so we'll have to find another way to get him linked up with us. Malcolm may be here, um, but I was want to talk about a few things, and we'll kind of hold this kind of short tonight, but because I do want to go over, like I said, I just got some photos in yesterday. I need to blow those up on this computer, and I still need to do some night vision. Like I said, we've been in field, we've been in the mountain areas doing some tracking. We had some friends come in. We got to do some tracking. Uh, we got to do some interesting things, I guess you would say, for the time that we had. And we were glad that people were able to bring pickup trucks and things like that. That really helped us out with these last few things that we had to do, and we do appreciate that. We're glad that everybody had some kind of weapon when we were out in the field because, uh, like we said, if things do break down, everyone does. During a multiple attack, multiple people have multiple one-on-ones, so always be aware of that. Bring a weapon if you go with us. There's other people that go out there without weapons. Um, that's how they do it. But we know their beginnings, and we know that they're predators and opportunists. And if the food supply is getting low, like it is, then they are accustomed to taking people for food. So also be aware of that. So tonight we're going to go over a test. We were supposed to do this the other night, except that was our first night back. So we're going to go over the test tonight. This we've had this test before. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. And if we've only got this many people in the room, then this should go pretty fast because um, most everybody in the room, as far as the names that I see, all know the answers. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and start. Shouldn't take too long, but then tomorrow night, I do want to get back into the hieroglyphs. We're gonna start reading the hieroglyphs. The very first hieroglyph that you need to know, we'll go over that one tomorrow. But I'm going to give you like a short preview at the end of this test of what we're doing tomorrow. So and people who's been keeping up with this channel, you should know the answers by now. So we're gonna start with the first one. Um, are there many colors to the hair of the Bigfoot? Um, if you get a Bigfoot hair, is it just white? Is it yes, Katie? Same person. Same person. So if you was to get a Bigfoot hair, and I don't know if a lot of people have seen Bigfoot hairs, but if you go to the Chute Ranch Project, a Bigfoot Experience Museum in Tallahassee, Oklahoma, they do have Bigfoot hairs there. I don't believe that you won't be able to touch them, but you will be able to possibly view them through a glass or a frame. Um, yes, Katie. 7 p.m. tomorrow night. We are going to set that in stone, and we will. And if we need to go a little bit earlier, we'll work with everybody's schedule. But as far as this is usually a good time. Everybody's just getting home. If they're working, just getting home. They they've had dinner. Got to kick back a little bit, or maybe they're having dinner whenever we get to uh, begin. And Katie says, "What about Tanya?" Uh, she will be in contact with you. I know that, Katie. So don't worry about that. This will happen. You will be in contact, and we may be even able to look at a few more, few more things for you. I don't know if you want to have really that much, or if you just want an area where we could do some observations, and maybe a cabin or two for everybody who's traveling through there. But so are there many colors to the hair of the Bigfoot? What I'm saying is, if you have one Bigfoot hair, will that Bigfoot hair be all one color? Will it be multiple colors? Will it be just two colors? Will it be transparent? Are there many colors to the hair of the Bigfoot? And that one is a yes or no question. Uh, are there many colors to a Bigfoot? Multiple. Damon or John Wolf says multiple. Yes, you are correct. There are multiple. When you see a Bigfoot hair, you will see multiple hair colorization. Oh, this one. I don't know. I don't, I don't know what this computer has been messing up a little bit today. Um, Maybe that's the problem, Katie. And Faith Walker says yes. Also, yes, there are multiple colors to a Bigfoot hair. That is correct, Katie. I hope you got that one right too. They use these hairs to. If you've ever watched the Avengers, I know it's a thing on the movies, but you have this blue person, this blue female who could change colors. But when you watch that hair change, that's the same thing with the Bigfoot hair. This one will blend into the brown. This will blend into the white. This will blend into the red or the leaves. So that hair will be multiple blended, different layers of hair, different colors. So it's all also good. I mean, for the translucency, for the camouflage. So that answer is yes. And the next question is, when a Bigfoot predator is ready to produce a better predator, what three types of people does the Bigfoot predators look for? And there's when they're out hiking. I mean, whenever the Bigfoots are out ready to produce, they want to produce a better, stronger predator. So they look for certain attributes in people if they're going to use that DNA to make a better predator. And it's a cycle. They just keep continuing to try to make a better predator. So when a Bigfoot predator is ready to produce a better predator, what three types of people does the Bigfoot predator look for? These are older questions. but we should get these pretty easy. When you're out in the forest areas, there's certain things that you do there um, that the Bigfoots also watch. So when they see you doing certain activities and they're ready to produce, and they want a better DNA than a deer or a wolf, or if they want to mix more with a human or a mankind, then they will look for certain types of people, and that is rock climbers, hikers, and runners. They want those physical attributes. They want those rock climbers. They want those people who can scale up the wall. They want the runners. They want the hikers, the people who can hike all day, the physical fitness of it, the runners, the joggers, the people who exert their bodies for strength and endurance. These predators do watch, and they do, when it's time, they do pick the very best, uh, as you know, genetics would be. The next question is: when a person becomes a warrior, he or she must must leave everything and everyone where. And I think we may have a little drag, so I'm going to give at least 20 seconds and then maybe about 10 more seconds after that, which seems like a lot of time. But where do you leave people, family, and friends, the future, the past? Where do you leave that? When you go out to the field, when you become a warrior and you know that you're in the field, your only responsibility is what you're doing. Where do you leave everything else? Where do you leave it at? John Wolf, you are exactly right. You leave everything behind. You can't take anything out there with you. If you're thinking about your family, thinking about your kids, thinking about your TV, yes, Katie, you leave it behind. You leave it at home. You can't take anything with you out there, and that's also like we say in if a death was to happen, you go alone. You don't take them with you. You have to be clear headed when you're in the field. You have to make sure that your responsibilities are taken care of, because the people who are with you, or if you're alone, but if you're with other people, what you do affects them. So your stealthiness protects them. Always remember that. Now, next question is: what are three places a Bigfoot predator will use as ambush spots? What are three places a Bigfoot predator will use as ambush spots? Where are three of the most places that the Bigfoot will wait? They'll wait for prey. They'll wait for you. They'll wait for routines. They'll wait by the places where you come to gather certain things. So, um, what are three places a Bigfoot predator will use as ambush spots? I didn't bring my water. I forgot my water. Usually I have my water. Hey, Malcolm. Great to see you. Great to see you. That's great. Yes, at home, at the house, leave everything behind. Katie says their territory, and then she says, Well, actually, those are our territories. The Bigfoots just happen to be in our territories. Katie says maybe we should have multiple choice questions. Well, What are the three places a Bigfoot predator will use as ambush spots? Oh, good. Malcolm finally got in. That's great. He was out making hamburgers this evening. Okay, now the three places a Bigfoot predator will use as ambush spots. We've been through this. We've been going over this. We should be the ones already going. We know this. One are water areas. That's Oh, John says rivers, rest stops, and woods. Malcolm put laugh out loud about his hamburgers over there. But John, you are very close. But the first one is water areas. Those are rivers, lakes, and streams, creeks. Animals go to water. The next place is berry patches and fruit trees. If you have fruit trees out there, apple trees, berry bushes, mulberry bushes, look for Bigfoots to be low into the ground. Don't think or don't expect a 15-foot Bigfoot, or at least not a 15-foot Bigfoot standing up. A 7 or 8 foot Bigfoot can easily lay down, ball up, hide in a berry bush. You won't even see it until it's too late. Prime example of that is uh, well, I'll talk about that one later. But they do look like lion dogs. They do get real low as they can to the ground to blend in. So berry bushes and things like that are ambush spots. So be very careful around water areas. And the third one, there are shelters. That's your home. That's your car. That's your campsite. That's your tent. Um, if you're going to go camping or something like that, and you put your tent up early, you go hiking in the woods, you go back to town to search for or to get some food, maybe make some s'mores or something like that. But while you're gone, these Bigfoots are moving in, getting the best positions, getting under the brush, getting in position for your return, and wait until it's time for you to go to bed. Now, a warrior can not have what? A warrior cannot have what when going into the field? And this is why I talk about do things now. Whatever you think of, do that right now. Get up and go do that. Um, if it's something like, okay, I got to remember that I need to go put, or let me go get something that I need to give you, I will do that right then. Because if I don't, we pass that time up. I may forget. We may get sidetracked. I don't give you what you need, and that could also endanger your life. So a warrior cannot have what? Um, okay, yes, we can't have fear. We don't have fear. Katie says unfinished business or distractions. You're all just about right, but a warrior cannot have regrets. That's the word I was looking for. Do not have any regrets. Do things now. Whenever if you need to pick that person up on the side of the road, pick that person up on the side of the road. If you need to do something right then, or need to say something right then, say it, do it, because you're not going to have extra time. And when you get down the road, and you're going to say, I should have done this and should have done that at that time. That is a regret. Don't don't have regrets. Don't do that. Do everything that you need to do right then, right there, so that you don't have a regret. The next question is a log laid across a river or a ravine or gully is called a what? Now I know this group here should be able to get all these. A log that is laid across a river, a ravine, or a gully is called a what? So when you come up to a river, a gully, um, or or some kind of deep ravine. Oh. Michael's got his hands up. Yes, John, it is also called that. And Katie, yes, you are correct too. It is called a bridge or a trap. Ambush is close enough. It is an ambush is a trap. So Katie says it's called a bar of soap. Oh. Now, what are four types of public places a Bigfoot predator uses to hunt for people? Where are four public places that we go to that a Bigfoot can use it to hunt us? If we're not careful, if we come up on a perfect scene, um, we decide to stay there. What are four types of public places a Bigfoot predator can use to hunt for people? Parks. Um, Katie says parks, parks. Um, Angel Song says or regrets equals wouldn't it be wonderful if the world really worked that way? I guess, uh, as in, okay, now Damon. Okay, so now what are four types of public parks a Bigfoot predator uses to hunt for people? Okay, the most public places that we use that the Bigfoot predator uses to hunt for us are campsites, isolated road stops, hiking trails, and picnic areas. All right, John, he says trails, campground, and rest stops. Yes, trails, campgrounds. That is correct, John. That is great. I'm glad you got that right on the head. Now, what are what are five types of scents of the smell? What are five types of smell that you will smell of a Bigfoot predator? What are five types of scents of a Bigfoot predator? What are five smells that accompany a Bigfoot predator? What are five smells that accompany a Bigfoot predator? B.O. Skunk, Katie says. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they do have that. But we're looking for all five. Let's try to get all five in there. Malcolm said he knows these well. Yeah. Yeah. What are five types of scents of a Bigfoot predator? What do they smell like? What are five smells that you will smell around the Bigfoot predator? If they're in your area, if they're close to you, what are five smells to look for or to smell for? I'll give you just a few more seconds and I'll go over those. And I know a lot of the people on the team, they know these, but they're not answering. They're letting everybody else answer, but I do know a lot of people on the team do know these answers. So, uh, skunk, pine, flowers, bad meat, perfume. All right, everybody's pretty much getting it. Are you getting all these too, Katie? Is Faith Walker still here, or did she? Is she not here? I see her for a little bit. What are 5 types of scents of a Bigfoot predator? And Damon and Malcolm, you guys are right on. I see. Yes, Katie. I don't. Okay, the 5 smells of a Bigfoot that you will smell out there if a Bigfoot is around you is the first one is no scent. So even though the Bigfoot's around you, you won't smell it. It could be right up close to you, right in front of you. You still won't smell it. Um, Also, the blood and flesh smell, that raunchy smells like I even hate saying it, but like a sour spider, like a tarantula, sour smell, sweat, blood, that horrible smell that you smell with them. The scent of a fine, fresh pine forest. It'll smell just really like a very good pine forest. The next one is frankincense and myrrh. It will have a perfume smell. It'll have a great smell. It'll smell like a woman just put perfume on it and just walk past you. You'll smell it in the breeze. You'll smell it in the trees. Um, so be very observant of these smells when you're out there. Uh, what are 4 ways to call a Bigfoot predator in for capture or to kill? What are 4 ways to call a Bigfoot in if you want to capture them or if you want to kill them? And as how it goes today, I was outside for just a minute doing some things. I'm working on some tables and stuff. But makes you want to whistle at a Bigfoot. Yeah. Yeah, it smells good. Yeah. Um, but I was outside today and doing a few things, and my neighbor, which I really don't talk to any of my neighbors. Um, they have their own things. I let them do their own things. I don't bother with them. They don't bother with me, which is good. I like my privacy whenever it needs to be private, but my neighbor had told me that today he said that on the local television of Oklahoma that they're issuing permits now to hunt or not not to kill a Bigfoot, but to capture one, and they're giving permits out and things like that. Hey, Ladybug, glad you're here. Glad to hear from you. That's awesome, Ladybug, you're here. But so the word is that there's permits out now. They are issuing hunting tags for Bigfoots, but or something like that because I don't think you're going to tag a Bigfoot. But there would be a lot of I'm sorry, but there would be a lot of um, chances that you would have to take if you're going to try to capture one because you would have to kill some of them to capture one of them. Uh, and I don't recommend that you even go out and attempt something like that unless you maybe take our tracker course camp training or listen to this channel more often. And there's a lot of knowledge that's already been deleted because of these streams only last for 10 days. And if they're not um, recorded or downloaded, then they are lost. Um, Ladybug Sarah, Katie says hello. Angel, Angel says, how much is a permit? I don't know. I only talk to. Well, actually, like I said, I don't talk to my neighbors really. It was kind of weird how they just kind of started talking today. But that's how it goes too. You that information that you need will be there. You just have to, even if it came from a neighbor that you never talked to, that information was for you, or it was actually for me at that point and that point in time today. So I got word that they're issuing permits now. So also that the Discovery Channel is in the area here now for, I want to say somebody said a whole year that they're going to be here. Um, and there was another group that was filming, but we didn't get up with them, and they didn't have time to do what we needed to do, so we didn't have time to really work together. Um, Ladybug Sarah says a tree was pushed over less than 10 feet from my home. About 8-inch tree and about 8 foot break above the ground. Ladybug Sarah, they're getting way too close. You know they're there. Have you talked to your neighbors about any of this? It is good to have neighbors on call, and that's just like we got a call just the other night. It was lucky we were in town. Our friend called. They had 4 knocks on their windows. We said, okay, we'll be over there in just a second. We all loaded up, had 2 vehicles, went over. We all had weapons, night vision, and lights at that time. Went around both sides of the house, checked the roof and everything for them, checked their grounds. Um, but that's having good neighbors, and that's having neighbors who understand and know about these creatures. But you do need to have more people involved. Malcolm says we will probably get busy with tracking now. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure, Malcolm. I'm sure that pretty soon we're gonna be getting some phone calls. Also in the museum, we do have the information about the tracker school and things like that. So uh, I'm sure that we're gonna get busy. And I kind of mentioned that to a friend today. I had a friend over here. We was talking about all this too, everything that's going on. So I do expect that too, Malcolm. Ladybug Sarah says federal or state permits. As far as I know, there will be state permits first. I'm sure it's through the state representative that was trying to build something like this last year, but got ridiculed, and now it's kind of taken more serious because more people have been exposing the activity. Malcolm says looking for missing permit holders. Yes, you're right, Malcolm. That's probably gonna be more of what we're doing, searching for people who don't know what they're doing, who go out and do things they shouldn't be doing. Ladybug Sarah, Katie wants to know, do you live in the woods? And Katie is a team member too. She's from Colorado, a great person. She's just asking you a question. Ladybug Sarah is a great person too. So I'm sure both y'all, well, you're both great people. So um, Ladybug Sarah says it's a small division in semi country. It has been growing intensely. And is that the activity or the vegetation? Or the subdivision? Okay, I see what you're saying. Your subdivision is growing. Um, Now, next question is when a person is spotted by a predator, what must that person do to the predator? Katie says, laugh out loud, thanks, Jerry, or the Sasquatch. No, I think she's talking about the subdivision growing. But but the question is when a person is spotted by a predator, what must that person do to the predator? And you've heard stories of when people spot Bigfoots or see Bigfoots, and the Bigfoot has already got the intimidation factor going. You know, with the hair and the face and the fangs and the teeth and the sharp claws and the red eyes. So I was also talking to my friend about that today. Um, because when I talk Bigfoots, when it's talking about the Patty Gremlin film or Passing Gremlin film, I was talking about how a lot of people don't understand that. They think, or especially back then, 7'5", whatever, uh, as what they had the Bigfoot measured as called Patty. But even if it was a 8 foot, that's still a small Bigfoot. That's not a big one. So uh, the what they call Patty in that Patterson Gribman film, if you see one like that now, you would say that's a very small Bigfoot. That's compared to the ones that with the foot tracks about this big and everything. Um, Ladybug says people moving in, lots of subdivisions been made. Okay, and John says to throw sticks and rocks or shoot it. That's what we do if it don't do what we do first. We do something first before we do that. It's when a person is spotted by a predator, what must that person do to the predator? Say it's a crow. A crow's a predator, a raven is a predator, an owl is a predator. And you're right on where what you're talking about, Damon. Um, but when we are spotted by a predator, we must stare and keep contact until the predator vacates and is completely out of sight. You do this with crows. You do this. You do this with owls, crows, uh, ravens, wolves, and Bigfoots, and dogmen. Whatever kind of creature you find, you stare at it. You keep eye contact with that predator until that predator vacates and leaves. Um, Ladybug Sarah says she has large trees all around her, especially large cedar trees. Maybe I'll burn some cedar wood. Um, you got to know your area, Ladybug Sarah. If those trees are great hiding spots for a Bigfoot, get rid of them. Uh, they may look nice, but they're endangering your lives and your family's lives right now. And burn those stumps out. You want that as low to the ground as possible. Maybe some smaller trees. Wait for that next. Uh, Wait for them to grow. I mean, so you could be able to see this side and this side of that tree. But any big trees that are hiding Bigfoots, that's not to your advantage. Mhm. They don't like the smell of burning cedar leaves, so keep dry cedar with you. Let that burn cedar, because that's like their home or what they mat, what they put in their dens and stuff like that. So to them, that's the smell of their houses burning or some of them burning. So burn cedar whenever you can. But if you keep your eye on a raven, because a raven will perch, in a long distance, far enough for them to see, which that's the same distance a Bigfoot will be. They'll start cawing, or they'll call one time or maybe two, and that's just saying that I found food, I spotted food, which is you, and they will do that all the time. So you stare at that raven, make eye contact with it if you can, keep your eye on it, let it know. Don't turn your head away because if you do, it knows that you're not serious and that it's not what you're looking at. It's not what you're looking for. Okay, now this question, I'm sure Malcolm and Damon are going to get right off. Hopefully, Katie does too. But if you're spotted by an owl, raven, or wolf, but the predators are not leaving, what does a person do? What do you do if these predators don't leave? What if you do if that owl, that person in the tree, just sits there and keeps hooting? What do you do if you see a raven that's close enough to do something? What if you see? I mean, what do you do if you're spotted by an owl, raven, or a wolf, but the predators are not leaving? What does a person do? And I would say, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. You did get that right while ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Michael was right about that. About stare at it till it leaves. I didn't see that last part, but you're absolutely correct, Malcolm. Let's see. Okay, but this is the one, John or Damon. You got the you got this question right just a few seconds ago. Malcolm says, "Shoot it and feed it to the cat." Faith Walker says, "Throw rocks." Yes, you are all correct. Katie, where are you? You throw rocks, you throw sticks at it, and you shoot it if you have to. Get it out of there. You are not food. Let that predator know you are not food. Do not perch on me, owl. Thank you, uh, Katie. Now, was the first predator born or hatched? That means an egg. Was the first predator hatched or was the first predator born? Malcolm says, "Hey, Faith Walker," and Katie says that she is listening. So, was the first predator born or hatched? And Ladybug Sarah says she don't ever see it. She's always inside at night. And Ladybug Sarah, thank you for being inside at night. There are some places that we've been. Faith Walker says, "Hi, Malcolm." But we've actually been in places where we've been told, get in before dark, don't come out till dawn. So take that to advice for right now, Ladybug Sarah. Make sure you're in safe. Make sure your family's in safe for the night. Do the scouting in the morning. Get those trees cut. Burn that brush. Know your area. Take all the blinds out. Know if there's a silhouette out there or not. Know if there's a something on the ground or not. Clear your areas. You don't have to like just clear everything off, but at least get the big things out of the way. Things that will give them cover. Now, in the morning and evenings. Oh, okay. Malcolm, you got it correct. Malcolm is correct, everybody. Was the first Bigfoot predator hatched or, oh, I'm sorry. Was the first predator born or hatched? And yes, Malcolm, you are correct. The first predator was hatched. Now, the first Bigfoot predator was the very first Bigfoot predator. Was it born or hatched? The Bigfoot predator was the first one born or hatched? and the first Bigfoot predator was hatched. Although, as we have been talking about in the story, The Legend of Time, it is through an evolution. It's still evolving. And with the 2012 Mayan calendar, it says that they will be here to the very end of the beginning. Katie says, listening, I could only guess. Okay, but the first ones were hatched. Um, and we may have to go, we will go over that story again, The Legend of Tom. Now, when a person, and maybe Katie, you may know people like this, but when a person makes calls, whistles, or tree knocks, are they endangering non trained people? When someone's out there wood knocking, whistling, making Bigfoot calls, using the actual Bigfoot calls to try to call Bigfoots in, are they endangering other people? Are they endangering people who are around them? Katie says yes, correct. John says yes, correct. All right, everybody. I'm so happy everybody understands that when you're out there, if you're making noise like that, you're just bringing a dinner bear. You're calling them in. Um, they're all the information, all the evidence that you need will be there. They will come to you, but don't call them in and let them know that you're just a snack or a meal, just something like that. Now, what does a warrior do when he approaches a wall or something designed to stop the warrior? What does the warrior do when he approaches a wall or something designed to stop the warrior? If a warrior comes up to a wall, the warrior doesn't try to get a hammer and an axe and a chisel. You know, they don't try to break that wall down. What does a warrior do to that wall? A warrior's got to continue that mission. What does the warrior do when he approaches a wall or something designed to stop him or her? Women are warriors also. Katie says climb it. In a way, in a way, Katie. What does the warrior do when he approaches the wall or something designed to stop the warrior? Give just a few more seconds and I'll give that answer. Malcolm, John says he goes over it or under it. Malcolm says go around it or hurdle it. Ladybug Sarah says I would say face the enemy. Ladybug Sarah, John and Malcolm, Faith Walker says go over, under, around, and through. Okay, so Ladybug Sarah, John, Malcolm, and Faith Walker just gave you the answer. A warrior does not try to break that wall down. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of energy. We go over it. We go under it. We go around it. We go around. We do not let that wall stop us. There's another option. There's another way. Find it. There's another way. Find it. And a warrior will find that way. Now, what is the creature that will mimic a single bird, a single coyote, a single cricket, or a single frog? What is the creature that will mimic a single bird, a single coyote, a single cricket, or a single frog? What creature, what predator can mimic all these? Okay, yeah, hey, everybody, all right. Sarah, Sabi, correct. Katie, Sasquatch, correct. Um, John says Bigfoot, you are correct. And John also, or Damon says Malcolm, hello, this is Damon. So John is Damon, Malcolm. So when you see that, as now in the results of a Bigfoot sample that comes up inconclusive is the inconclusiveness the species. In the result of a Bigfoot sample that comes up inconclusive is the inclusiveness the species. Faith Walker says Bigfoot. Yes, you are correct again. Good job, everybody. Everyone got that one. I love that. John Rogers. He says Bigfoot was created by aliens. You are correct in a way, but you're also not correct. um, but almost correct. Now will a oh and the result of a Bigfoot sample that comes up inconclusive is that inconclusiveness the species? John says to elaborate. John, have you ever heard the story The Legend of Tom? If you can answer that question, if you answer it yes, then you know exactly what we're talking about. But if you say no, that means you haven't been here for either a while or okay. Uh, John, we are going to have to probably go over that story again, but that story will answer your question. It's called The Legend of Tom. It also has to do with the Fibonacci sequence, cosmology, and all these ancient stone maps. Now, the result of a Bigfoot sample that comes up inconclusive is that inconclusiveness of the species. And Katie says she has it. But that and the answer is yes. The inconclusiveness is the species. And if they want to name it as inconclusive, then that's what it should be labeled as, and just build it as that because everything inconclusive is going to come up as a Bigfoot proof. And John says, no, not the Legend of Time, Time, John. It's the Legend of Time, and I have it written here. We'll go over it again, maybe. Well, I need to do it sometime because all the information is getting deleted, and all the I guess you would say the newer people have not been able to get this information. Okay, now what is it called when a Bigfoot or another predator connects with a non-trained person's mind? Uh, John, you can only get that information here on this channel, and we will go over that again. I'm not sure when. Like tomorrow, we're going over hieroglyphs. One of the first hieroglyphs I want to everyone to know about, we're going to go over tomorrow. Um, if you hadn't been here for a while, John, or just getting kind of new to the channel, we teach everything about the Bigfoot, the beginning about the Bigfoot, where it came from, how it got here, what its purpose is, its DNA, but it's also in the hieroglyphs, the manuscripts, um, the Coptic language, uh, the hieroglyphic inscriptions, and that's what we're also doing. We're also teaching you how to read hieroglyphs, how to read like the Egyptian did your zodiac, the Aztec sunstone, which is behind me. Um, John says mind connection, close, but it's a common word that everybody call. I mean, everybody's using it right now. For us, it's telepathy, but uh, what is it called when a Bigfoot or another predator connects with a non-trained person's mind? But you are very close. I'd say you're half close. Angel Song says you never explained how all that and the Legend of Time has anything to do with the Fibonacci sequence. Um, ah, Faith Walker says mind speak. Mind speak. You are correct, John. You were close. Mind speak is the word we was looking for. Uh, Angel, I did I did explain that, but I don't know if you how long you had been listening to the channel because if you and to understand to know the story, the Legend of Time, the Legend of Time brings you to the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence with let's say the Legend of Time brings you to the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence brings you back to the Legend of Time. And then from there, once you know about the attack and everything, then that is where the Bigfoot comes in after that, after the attack. But the Legend of Time and the Fibonacci sequence are together, but then you have to go back to the Legend of Time to know where the Bigfoot comes from. See how easy that was? You was here for Legend of Time. Uh, with the Legend of Time, you said that you was here for Legend of Time. Were you here for the entire part of the Fibonacci sequence? Do we still have it? I'll erase so much. John says, "Where is this Legend of Time?" Uh, it's a story that you're not going to find anywhere, John. It's a story that only a few people know. It's only a story that's been passed down, but it has the accuracy of everything. Uh, I don't know how long you've been with the channel, John, but we will be going back over this. Angel Song it's a creation story from his tribe. Well, it's a story, it's a creation story, but it's not just from my people. It's the same story of every person in Earth. And John says that he hasn't been with the channel long, so we will, and we do need to go back over this because a lot of information has been lost. And I was talking with another friend about when we do this, I'm going to do a recording so I can try to maybe put all this information on a DVD and try to get it out that way. John says, "Can I get a quick rundown?" No, John. And I don't mean to say that like no, you can't get a quick rundown. I'm saying no, there is no quick rundown. You have to listen to the entire story, and I would say that maybe takes 30 minutes if we do it fairly quickly. Um, an Angel Song says I never mentioned it, Jerry. Um, but we will get to that, John. Stay with the channel. We will get to that. So Who all votes we start over? Oh, because we do have some new people here, and I can see that. Let's see. Angel Song says, "Sorry, just saying it's there and a part of the creation story doesn't show me how it relates to anything." So, uh, if it's okay with a lot of people, which to me, I want you to. John says, "Is it similar to any other story around?" No, John. It's a one of a kind story. I know you've never heard it. It's not in any. Well, it is in books. It's in hieroglyphs. It's in ancient manuscripts. It's in the Coptic language. It's in the Voynich manuscript. It's on the Egyptian Dendra hieroglyph. It's on the map of the universe, the Ojibwe sky map, uh, the Aztec sunstone. It's in the Fibonacci sequence. And whenever I say words like that, I'm explaining that the information that was shared to you is everywhere. And once you know this information, when you look at the Egyptian Dendra zodiac, when you look at the Aztec sunstone, the map of the universe, because I got them all over the place. When you look at all these things, you're going to know what they mean because just by that story alone um, tells you everything that you need to know and where to begin, really. Let's see. Katie says me. Okay, Katie. So we got one vote to kind of start from the beginning again. Uh, Now, these streams do get deleted after 10 days, so maybe we can get somebody to download and keep those copies for us, um, which that would be great. So we could probably make them into DVDs and just give all the information out to everybody so that people can have it at home, show their children, and you could actually use it as a family learning thing. Okay, so we got one person votes that we will Um, start over. Katie says not tonight. Um, John Wolf says the story has been passed down to the store. To the store uh, keeps, and they pass it down to the next teller. Yes, it's a passed down story, but it's in all the ancient hieroglyphs. We just had to know what we was looking at. And Malcolm says, it's too deep and has to be in a timeline to get the understanding. You are correct, Malcolm. And that's also for you, John Rogers, that we do have to start at the beginning. Otherwise, like a question that you have now is way over here. We're here and we're getting there, but your question is we can't give you a one word answer. Is what we're trying to explain. It's you have to understand the beginning so that you understand and the questions that you have now. That if you was to know that story and start at the beginning, you wouldn't have these questions that you have now. Um, oh, story. And John Rogers says, "I get what you mean. It sounds like Kabbalah. Ah, or that's Kabbalah." Um, Now, John, are you talking about like the Quran? Is that what you're talking about? Um, Interesting book. If you ever read this book, you know that all Christians are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Um, Also, another book I'd recommend for warriors. If you ever get a chance to read Plato and the Republic, um, it's a good training tool for warriors. That's how I look at it. Leave the politics out of it, but just learn the tactics of the military, the soldiers, warriors, and things like that. I don't agree with their tactics on promoting death as being the best warrior, which that is a part of what happens when you have a challenge like that. But um, the Plato book just seems like they're pawns. They're used just for killing. So I don't agree with that part of the book. But I do agree with uh, the tactics on training. Um, John said he's up. Laugh out loud. Katie says she's falling asleep. Katie, have a great night. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We'll be back. We'll go live at 7 o'clock. Get some rest tonight, and we will be back with the hieroglyphs. We are studying hieroglyphs tomorrow. The first hieroglyph. Now, this first hieroglyph is very important because once you get this one down, you're going to start seeing it everywhere, or the same representation or the same symbol. And once you do that, you're going to be able to read it easy. Malcolm says, "I was thinking that with the new members, I was trying to say neighbors, but yes, since we do have some new people here, we are going to start over. We are going to, and John, this is let's see, John Rogers. This right here, this right here, this part right here." John, everything in that square right there, this square, actually, is there anybody here? I know there is, but is there anybody here who could tell me what what is being said in that square? Let's see. John says the Quran and Torah. Correct. Yeah, laugh out loud, John. Yes. Does the Quran say Sabi were hatched? I don't know. Um, a lot of the like even the Bible won't go back to this to what we go back to. So I doubt that the Quran will go back to that information. You're only getting that information here. Okay, Katie, thank you. See you tomorrow. Have a great night, Katie. So can anybody tell me what is in this square? What this is being said? And John, this is what we're talking about. Angel, this is what we're talking about. This is, if anybody could tell me what this says, what's in this square. Malcolm. Now, John, if you look at Malcolm's answer, Malcolm has just told you what is written in this square means the legend of time. And also, Angel, that story, the legend of time, is written in the Fibonacci sequence. Now, what we're going to do, we've got to start over. We've got to recap. We need more team members. We need more people in different areas. We need more trackers. We need more people aware. We need more people with the information and the knowledge. So it's going on an hour and a half right now. So here about 11 around that time, we're going to go ahead and close again. But tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central Time Zone, we're going to start over. We're going to start with the Legend of Time. So, John, if you can be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Katie's already asleep, but she will be here. And I do recommend anyone who has just came to the channel or has only been here for a couple of days that tomorrow will be our start day to start over. We got, and like I said, we get advanced fast. If you could just we get into astrology, we get into the Aztec sunstones, uh, and of course the Fibonacci sequence and things like that. Um, Malcolm says night, Katie. John says night, Katie. Katie says night all. She looks sleepy. She got the sleepy face on. Uh, Malcolm says maybe we should record it this time so it won't be deleted. Yes, we need to do that. We need to keep this as a record for everybody so that, like right now, this group is probably, I would say, the most advanced group in the world because we cover more things and that you won't find in colleges, that you won't find teachers for, that we here at this channel have the opportunity to give you those answers. We don't give you questions, we don't guess. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, I think that's going to be the best. We just need to just completely start over. Even these test questions, I could see that it was only like the team members. I mean, really hitting the answers, and I can see that we have other people in the room, but some of those questions, uh, or John says that he will be there or be here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. A lot of people get that mixed up, and they miss. But we're gonna start over. And I talked with a couple friends about this before. Um, some very good friends. We had some conversations, sometimes over the whole weekend, about we're getting too far ahead, and when you get too far ahead, you don't make sense to someone who's just walked into the room. You know, and we were kind of laughing about that with some other friends, talking about going to portals, the key to the dead. I mean, just the language alone is, unless you knew or been here, the things and how we talk are totally different than what you would see at any other channel. So we're gonna go ahead and close tonight, and tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. We're gonna try this. We're gonna see how it goes. Some people has even offered or suggested we do it in the mornings, but then other people has told, suggested that people do work early in the morning, so they wouldn't be getting the information also, or maybe even just a lunch thing. Well, I have the opportunity to do that for right now, but when situations change, and I'm thinking about 2 weeks, a lot of things are going to change, so people may have to bear with us. That is a great idea, Malcolm, to get this recorded so that we can keep this for everybody, so we don't have to stop and start over. But we have all pretty well talked about this, that we do have to just scrap, as far, I mean, not scrap it, because the people who have been listening for a while and learning, keep that information. This will be just like a recap to reinforce all that information that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and close tonight. It's almost 11 o'clock. I will see everybody back here tomorrow night at a new time, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Um, I will see y'all tomorrow. Everyone have a great night. Sleep well. Um, keep in contact with people. Let everybody know that you're okay. And check on your friends. So everybody have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Have a great night. I had another fun night.